Hey, X here. Today I want to talk about something that I love doing, and that's running. And I've been running for probably close to 20 years. Um, I used to compete, I did very well, and now I just run for enjoyment and fun and fitness. Um, More specifically, I want to talk about barefoot running. It's people call it a fad or whatever, a trend. I personally don't think it is. I believe if you look at history, you look at the rest of the world, look at the rest of the animal kingdom, the trend, the new fad is shoes. So uh, I wouldn't call it a trend. I love running, and as good as I did before, as well as I did when I competed, I never had as much fun as I have now that I run barefoot. So you look at the foot, and it really is amazing. The human body is amazing, and I refuse to believe that the foot is just is inefficient or was not completed, um, was not built properly. It was sufficient for thousands of years, and I believe it still is. And yet, so a little bit of my experience coming into it, I heard about it probably about 5 years ago, and I looked into it for about 3 years. Maybe I heard about it 4 years ago. I looked into it for about 3 years before I even took one step barefoot, and so I went really slow. And you probably heard of the book Born to Run. Uh, I heard about that, started looking into it, and I had to look into my own past, my own history, and think, I ran barefoot as a kid. What made me stop? And it was society. It wasn't a need. It wasn't that I noticed that I should wear shoes. And that's so much of fitness nowadays, just regurgitation. You do what people tell you to do. You tell, well, so and so says this is what society says. So and so says this is how you exercise. Or this person came up with a new, better, best way to exercise. Whatever, just regurgitation. And in my in the time I was looking into running barefoot, that's what I kind of came to conclude. You have all these arguments. Some people saying good, some people saying it's bad. Doctors, and most of the people who were saying it's bad never tried it, and you could tell because they would talk about how there's man-made surfaces and whatever that are different from what we had to deal with, and that just shows their ignorance that they've never done it themselves. Because if they had, they would know nature can be pretty mean. If I could prefer what kind of surface to run on, it would be a smooth sidewalk. It wouldn't be a trail. Trails are mean. They have rocks and like roots and stuff sticking up. It mean. Nature can be just as mean. So they show their ignorance. But I kind of decided I got to try it for myself instead of just taking all these people's words for it. I did research and I felt comfortable. I felt there's something here, enough here for me to at least try for myself, and I did. And I went into it very, very slowly. So, kind of want to talk a little bit about my experience. The bad first. People are correct when they say there's things out there that weren't before, such as glass. Though I have to say there's also thorns that have been around for years. But you take glass. This is my experience. I've been running for about a year, barefoot. And some of the bad about it, the glass. Christopher McDougall said, if it's big enough to really hurt you, you can usually see it. And if it's small enough that you can't see, it probably won't cause that much damage. And I've kind of found that to be true, and you might think differently, but I'm telling you my experience. The 2 times I've stepped on glass were in snow, and you might think, running in snow, what the heck? This is my experience running in snow, though. I've seen glass on sidewalk without snow, and guess what? I can avoid it. I can run around it. Humans like to check out when they exercise. I think we should be focused on what we're doing. And so I look at the ground, I focus on my form, I look at where I'm running. You see glass, move over it. It's really easy. But you know, the thing is, when you run in snow, you can't see what's underneath you. And you can't feel if you get hurt because your feet get numb. So if it's deep snow, you can't see what's underneath you, but at least that snow is something between you and what you can't see. The 2 times I got injured were in very thin snow, where it was just a slight layer, where I couldn't see anything, but I had nothing between me and what I couldn't see. Whereas when there was no snow or a lot of snow, I could either see it and avoid it, or if I didn't see it, I just had something between me and it. So those are the 2 times I've stepped on glass. And I want to be honest, you know, that's what this video is about, the good and the bad. So another bad thing is if you're, you know, competition, whatever, it takes a while to really build up. And people have done it, you know, people have competed barefoot, but it takes a while to really build up. And, well, we're not all patient, so, you know, that's kind of a bad about it. If you run fast, if you run far, well, then you're going to need more recovery. Now some of the good, it's fun. Like I said, never had so much fun running. Never. Even when I competed, even when I was best. I mean, no matter how well I did, I never had so much fun running. It just feels natural. It feels amazing. It feels like you're a kid again. And I've had no other serious injuries. I've never even rolled an ankle, not once. I've ran in shoes and walked in combat boots and rolled my ankles. Never, not once have I rolled my ankle barefoot. No knee problems, nothing. In fact, now that I run barefoot, I might have to jog somewhere real quick in my shoes, like between classes or something like that. It hurts. It just feels way uncomfortable. It really does hurt more, even running in shoes, if I'm trying to use proper form, than it would if I was barefoot. So, that's kind of a good thing about it. No serious injuries. It's so much more fun. Lastly, I just want to talk about, and this is probably how I should have started the video, but, you know, maybe it'll do for closing. If I told you, you know, there's shoes that cost hundreds of dollars, and if I told you, I have this shoe for you, and it is, and I was arguing with one of my friends about this, and she said, well, you know, the reason shoes still cause people injuries is because they're not good for their feet. They're not for their feet specifically. And I started thinking, what if I told you I had a shoe that was perfect for your feet and was very sufficient and you could run in, and it adapted to the ground and it sent you signals up to your brain and it grew stronger? Shoes wear out. What if this one got stronger? What if this one got better, got thicker, more cushion? What if this one, the more you used it, it might wear down a little bit, but then it built back up? What if I told you this one can actually heal itself? You get a cut, you get a scrape, it heals itself. Perfect for your feet. Oh, and it's free. I mean, can you imagine how much a shoe like that would cost? It's free. Guess what? It comes with your body. It's your foot. Really. Just brilliant. The thing is, it is sufficient, it has been sufficient. If you want to find out about it, look online and look at research studies, and not just articles. But check it out. Go into it very, very, very slowly, and build up very, very slowly, and be careful. And most importantly, listen to your body. With whatever kind of exercise you're doing, listen to your body. It's not for every condition. It's not. But it can suffice in a lot of conditions. So, let me know what you think. Tell me your thoughts. We'll see you.